Welcome to the Vision Profiles podcast. Join us, 3 dedicated Apple Vision Pro users, well, actually 2 and 1 persona that's joined us. Eric's in persona. It's like evil Eric. Yeah, you have to see the video to watch us on YouTube to see evil Eric. As we dive into everything from hardware and software to apps and the latest updates on the Apple Vision Pro. I'm Marty Gensius, a faculty member at a Midwest University, podcaster, and an Apple product fan.
Oh, I'm
63 shows, Eric. You can never get that. You can never get that cue.
And I'm a virtual Eric Bolden. Well, no, a persona of Eric Bolden. I work in IT, but my interest is in finding myself somewhere in space and time, and sharing photography of plants and birds and panoramic sequences and wherever I happen to be now.
And I am Dave Ginsburg, the host of In Touch with iOS podcast. I am passionate about technology, especially Apple, and use it in real-world experience as a 27-year IT professional and an iPhone subject matter expert. I learn new things about the Vision Pro every day.
Okay, so let's start out the show. It is a thin news week. It is really a thin news week. I didn't do a pro notes last night in preparation for the show this morning because I didn't have a lot of news to draw from. So I'll be continuing to search and look for things. Maybe y'all can explain this because I always have. There is a master version of Vision 2.6, Vision OS 2.6, not Vision visionOS 26. So they call it the RC. And whenever I think of RC, I think of Royal Crown, the cola. Somebody speak about what this is, what the folks who are running it will get that they won't get because we're running the developer beta.
Not much. It's the Vision. So it's the visionOS 2.6. It's the release candidate. So just like iOS 18.6 and iPadOS 18.6, and I think there's going to be a Max OS Sequoia update as well. So just basically an incremental update that fixes some bug fixes and things like that. You're not going to really notice anything real different between the 2.6 and 2.5 on the Vision OS. So there's really not much to say about it other than that's all it is, bug fixes more or less.
I saw a Reddit post today where they were explaining the difference between 2.5 and I thought it was 2.6. And I'm looking at all these features that they had listed out, and they pinned this at the top, and I'm like, this is all in there. This is already in 2.6, and I'm like, oh no, they meant Vision OS 26. And when I went back and read the post, it was very clear. They're comparing 2.5 to the developer beta because it had all the goodies in that we're playing with on the developer beta. So nothing new to report in terms of a OS update or even a beta update yet. Do you think something will come out tomorrow for Vision OS?
Hard to say. I'm on the. It's really cool. I'm on. There's a special seed for IT that I get an email every time that shows me when which I really love that because I get the email at work and I'm able to know before I even go check it because they send it like right away because they give the catalog of all the developer betas that are coming out during that period. So it's hard to say what they're going to do. I would anticipate those of you who are running the older OSs before 26 are definitely gonna upgrade. I still support that on my iPhone. My primary iPhone, I stay with the current version. So it's my production device. I'm not gonna take any chances. But
yeah,
not much I can. I don't think there's gonna be much on this other than just a incremental update with some bug fixes.
Yeah, this is not Vision OS stuff, but I noticed today the problems I'm having running the beta on iOS and my watch in terms of getting watch faces and complications. It's like they kind of put that platform together and left all the complications out of it. So I'm like, how come I can't get this on my watch? And then I go and look at it and I can't even get the full version of the watch face that I use to be able to put in the multiple complications in it. So that's one thing that doesn't make me happy, but so it goes. It still tells time. That's all I can say. So I'm putting in this article, and I'll share it with you. Just up front, I thought it was it came out July 14th, and it's an article basically telling you how to set up your Apple Vision Pro. And
Nice.
it's nice. It's not only nice for newbies, it's also nice for folks who have been using their Vision Pros for a while to go back and kind of have a good memory of these are some things I need to check or I need to continue to be aware of in terms of fitting the headset for comfort, powering on and connecting the battery, navigating the setup process. It's an extensive article, and this is Apple Magazine that put the article out. And it's just nice for folks who want to go back and reset up or are looking at setting up a new one. It's a nice introduction to that. So I wanted to start out with that, seeing as we had no new betas to talk about, no new operating systems to talk about yet. So we got to get into the technical stuff. This is an article from Patently Apple. And Apple invents a new battery pack concept that could be used with an iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook, and also Vision Wear. And when I look at it and you look at the final result, it's basically a battery pack with a clip. Which is, hey, that's what we're using for Vision Pro right now.
No, we got a clip with the D-band that came with it.
Yeah.
It's going to help with heat, things like that. I've already seen the case can further include an elastic layer within the outer housing, a heat sink, and other structures that will help with it. So it's a patent that Apple has put together and has submitted for that purpose. You see any future designs in this?
Well, from what I'm seeing in the visual, I mean, it looks like almost like I almost thought it was like a pouch, but I see it's got a clip on it. So, so it's going to be more square than rectangle as far as the size of the battery. Is this is going to be Apple's new version of it? Are they going to release it as an update, or is it going to be waiting until the next model? I mean, that's hard to say because this Patently Apple always has stuff that Apple just patents and then you may not see it for a few years.
Or they're holding on to the patent to kind of claim ground should any other manufacturer decide to do something similar to that. But this is, as it's written, it could be used for the iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and Vision Wear. So these are kind of external battery packs from what I can tell from the, and it shows connection in it. So who knows? But we'll have that link to the article in the show notes. So that's a bit of the news. And then I go into a couple of articles here that are about something we've already spoken about with regard to Vision Pro. And with these new projections of what the rumors are around it. As I mentioned on a pro note about a week ago, everybody's flooding the market now with media articles about what the new Vision Pro is going, or Pros are going to be, when the release dates are going to be, all of this with complete and utter confidence because Ming-Chi Kuo says it's going to happen. And so, I wanted to follow up with a little bit of news, new articles. This comes from Next Reality. But again, it talks about, and it references the Verge article, and now saying that we're going to be dealing with an M4 upgrade. This is all Bloomberg stuff that has come through Mark Gurman and Ming-Chi Kuo, and then the strap situation in terms of fixing the strap or changing the strap. Any thoughts on this piece?
It's I think I think that what the article's saying, what that strap fix is all we need. And I don't know if that's all we need. I think the M4 upgrade will be a nice upgrade. I mean, it's just like what they're talking about with the iPad. The iPad's going to get potentially an M5 upgrade. The M4 is a gosh darn good device. I'll see if that's all really what the upgrade is going to be on the iPad. I have seen no reason to upgrade at this point. And the same thing here. I mean, I just don't, from an M2 to an M4. I mean, other than people doing it on the basis of just because you want to. I don't know if it's going to be a reason to do it, because if there's nothing really else that changed. So
yeah, this article kind of goes all over the place. It does it. It's like, let's throw kitchen sink on this. So let's talk about Mac OS 26 beta. Let's talk about visionOS and the kinds of things it's doing with personas and spatial widgets. And so, yeah, it seems to be a lot crammed into there, but basically following the idea that many of the articles spoke about in the last week, the projection or the rumor that it's going to have an M4 and that it's going to have a new strap. And that's going to be the selling features on it. Eric, anything to add?
Yeah, the M2 right now is holding up, but there's not a lot of headroom. So I think what the M4 gets you is just a little extra room to add improvements or speed things up a bit, or to do more things at the same time, perhaps have more display, without having issues. So an M4 and a strap, that's not a bad mix, really, especially if they're just trying to buy time for a couple more years before they make a big change.
Yeah, I agree with that. I put another article in which came from applestocknews.com. I guess you can buy any. This is Apple Stock News.
You find the doozies.
Excuse me.
It's not easy to go through other people's dumpsters to find some of this stuff. No, I'm serious. It is kind of hard to find it, but what do they start off with? The foldable iPhone display, and how Samsung has started producing folding OLED displays for Apple's first foldable phone. How do they know that? Scheduled for release next year. Production takes place at the A3 plant in South Korea. And then they start to talk about limitations with that. And then they go into an upgrade for the Vision Pro and talk about many of the same things that we have spoken about with what the rumors are already about it. So I kind of included that article. It's interesting. My wife got off the phone with a friend who's a kind of an Apple fan, and she said, my friend is waiting for September when the new Apple foldable phone comes out.
Keep waiting.
And keep waiting. It's and so I explained to Aileen what's the trajectory where your friend might have gotten this idea. but she really needs to listen to our show or other shows to kind of get an idea of what product releases are going to happen and what aren't going to happen. So she might have to wait another year for, if the rumors are
Yeah.
true, she'll have to wait another year for a foldable phone.
Well, really,
Final
what's
article. Yeah. Go ahead,
okay,
Dave.
I'm sorry, but really, just to close this out, what's really happening is because Samsung announced their new foldable phones that are coming out shortly. The press already has it in their hands, and they've been talking about it. It's a pretty nice device with 200 megapixel camera and a number of other things, and you don't see the line as bad as you used to. So they got some excitement with that. So probably people are getting anxious. Okay, well, what about the iPhone version? Well, Apple's doing it like it always does. Let's make sure it's right before we release it.
Yeah, I had a third article in here that I can only talk about unless you are a member of
Yeah.
unless you're a
saying.
member of Medium. It's a member only story, and I regret doing that. But it's kind of a lament. Why would Apple update their Vision Pro without updating it? And the article talks about Gurman's rumors and said, what's the major complaint from buyers about Vision Pro? Well, it's too expensive. The strap chafes their skin. It's not fast enough, or it's too heavy. And the writer claims that the number one issue is that it's too heavy. And so why get a headset with a processor in it and a new strap and a new CPU for the same price when it's still too heavy? And then he makes a pitch at the end. Help me buy a Vision Pro or a coffee. If you enjoy my post, please consider making a contribution, reoccurring or not. Thank you. So I'm sorry I couldn't open that up for everybody to see, but it is a Medium article. It is a blog, Tech and Me, where the person's lamenting about why would you update a device without updating it, particularly around the major complaints that people have.
Yeah.
And another good article in terms of virtual reality news, what visionOS 26 means to Apple Vision Pro. And it gives a good review of all the components, including the shared spatial experiences from an enterprise standpoint, the new personas, like the new Eric that we have in the show tonight, spatial scene capture, game control, and then those widgets of wonder that you can put on the wall and show it off. So another kind of positive review article. Finally, again, an article, and we talked about this before, an article by Lagrada, and it's no Vision Pro, no MetaQuest. ByteDance takes a swipe at the table, develops its own mixed reality glasses backed by TikTok. Of course, we don't know what's in them. We don't know what they're going to cost. We don't know what it's going to do. It's basically put together by Pico, Pico, I guess, or Pico. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. They have trouble with being able to license and sell in the U.S. Or in North America.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because they're associated with ByteDance and TikTok and all that stuff.
China.
Yep. So this is and we've seen these kinds of things before. There was another headset that came out that was like so tempting that I was going through it and it was like, oh, only that much. And then I realized, yeah, that much, but it's coming from China. I can't go into a store and get it fixed. I can't send it back if it's broken. Nah. So yeah.
It's like buying a Huawei phone.
Or for that matter, a Wemo nowadays. So here we go. I've got a couple of articles that I thought, and we don't have a lot more in terms of coverage, but these articles came up and I sort of grouped them together. One of them I talked about on Pro Notes. I think it was the first Pro Note I did this last week. But this one really caught my eye, and it is from PubMed. This is a professional research article that was published on PubMed. It's from the Internal Journal of Surgery, but it was listed on PubMed, and it is preliminary application of Apple Vision Pro, AVP, and laparoscopic gastrointestinal surgery. And we've seen these. There's going to be another article or Reddit post I'll share that talks about these kinds of things. And yeah, Justin in the chat room says Pico is a VR company, I believe. Yeah, they're the ones that basically are kind of subcontracted to do these glasses that we talked about in the previous articles. I have a hard time keeping up with the chat room, and I need to do a better job of that. Anyways, this article about application of Vision Pro towards laparoscopic gastrointestinal surgery is like pretty impressive. Use the AVP for the first time in delicate medical procedures such as laparoscopic, abdominal, gastrointestinal surgery. Total of 22 cases were involved, including malignant tumors of the ascending colon, the sigmoid colon, and the rectum. Having myself survived colorectal cancer through these kinds of surgeries, I don't think they used the Apple Vision Pro to do it, frankly, but they did do laparoscopic to get most of my surgery done to remove sections of it. Patients successfully completed the operation. Well, that's good. And the video signal was transmitted smoothly through the operation. The average operating time was 189 minutes. All patients recovered smoothly. The surgeon had no discomfort wearing the Apple Vision Pro. So the surgeon, if he was wearing it all 189 minutes, that would be 3 hours. I doubt that was the case, but if the average operating time was 189 minutes. So yeah,
Wonder if
some cool. Yeah.
you think they knock you out before you go in, so you don't see somebody there with a Vision Pro on their head and kind
Oh,
of
I'm
wonder
sure
what
they
they're doing.
do. Last time I had my colonoscopy where you're in twilight, I told the crew that I liked them to sing musicals for me while they do my colonoscopy. But not Cats. I hate Cats. That's what I said. And they said, "What music do you want to listen to?" I said, "Talking Heads." And they put that on, and I was out for the rest of it.
Wow.
Anyways, one cool article. Here's another one from an educator's perspective. This is a Medium article. I believe it is public because it isn't marked as members only for it, but an educator's perspective on blended reality with Apple Vision. And does a nice job of explaining their use of Apple Vision Pro, and that they're an enthusiast and they're a researcher in immersive tech. And they talked about blending reality workshops. These models can be transformative learning and collaborative potential, especially with STEM education, which is the magic word now, STEM. And they talk about the different things that you can do. You can have raptor-sized dinosaurs. We know that. So how it can be used as a teaching instrument.
Did you get the impression? Did you
Yeah.
get the impression from this article that this was written quite a while ago? Because this looks like it was a pre 2.5 OS version.
Yeah. Or the person is, operating on a device at their school or wherever they're using it that hasn't gone into the developer betas. The timestamp on this is 3 days ago. So, so yeah, I mean, part of it is there's a lot that they are missing in this in terms of what we know from apps and what can be done. But talk about the battery drain, etc., and accessibility to low-income households with the digital gap. So, just a kind of positive possibility coming out of education. In fact, tomorrow I'm doing a show with the other Eric on Tech Savvy Professor. We're going to talk about AR and VR. So we'll go a little bit more into that on that podcast.
That'll be neat.
This is a LinkedIn post, which is my next one, and I couldn't find some way to get it out of the environment. Like there doesn't appear to be a YouTube connection, but
No.
I can go full screen on this, and it is an ophthalmologist in his office, and you can see he's placed all these widgets up on the wall, and the video is being shot through his Vision Pro or captured, and it's his spatial operating room, and I'll just let it run on a loop.
That's cool.
Yeah. Setting up his office space that way. But he's also dressed in like full operating gear. Yeah. Spatial operating.
They have to they have to make it look good.
Well, yeah, I mean, this place is obviously, you can tell from it that they're doing operations there. But he has kind of put all the fun stuff up on the wall.
Yeah. Well, it's neat the stuff you can put up on the wall virtually that you wouldn't be able in real life to put on the wall.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is kinda
pictures
nice.
of your family, and that's what he has
Yeah.
up, part of the stuff he has up on the wall. Okay, so this last one was one that I spoke about, and it is a Reddit link that I have in here, and I spoke about it on Pro Notes. This is a contractor who put together, and I'll go full screen on it. His job, as he describes in here, and this is running at high speed. He set it to kind of do it fast because he's walking around this building, and he's walking through 3 different floors, and he's basically putting together the internet system for this that has to connect with another building on the property, the main building on the property. So he's showing where like the repeaters are going to be, and he's going up in the attic eventually, and he's showing where the router was down in the basement where the internet service put it in, and how and where is he going to run the lines to get it up to the top floor, because apparently he has to do some remote connecting with another building as part of that, a part of the arrangement. But and again, with the idea of these things having permanency, spatial permanency now, he can put these things down and pick them up later on, and put his headset on later on and get through find out where the placement was and what the plans were in terms of placement.
Well, and it's a lot easier not having to drill a hole and find out if you missed or hit something else or it was a little too far over. Or it's really neat to virtually punch an object through from one floor to the next to see if you're in the right spot.
Yeah, and you know, the end of the video has him up in the attic. I'm looking at it now as we talk, and he's pushing away insulation, and he's looking for space in the wall to get it to the outside wall of the building. And I think at one point he goes outside to show where it's going to emerge based on his placement.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, very cool setup, very cool arrangement. So more practical uses. People are being creative with the Vision Pro and coming up with ideas. And Brian says in that video, since he's mirroring his iPhone, he could look at the signal strength app when he's using his.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool. I missed
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah, because you know, I remember I talked about the imaging it with the and you're able to actually be able to bring that up, and yeah, that is cool because you can't if you're mirroring it, you can't just bring up an app that easily. I don't even think there's an app for Vision Pro for speed test.
Yeah. I mean, unless you went to a browser and tried it, you went to
Right. Although, Microsoft has a good. I mean, Google has a good one. That's web based.
So okay, then the article that I really took a look at came out on the 18th, so 3 days ago, and this was in TS2 Tech, and it is a comparison between Apple Vision Pro and Meta Quest 3 and a review based on where it stands in 2025. So either of you guys use a Meta 3?
No.
Nope.
No.
Have never used it?
Nope.
Oh man, next time I need to bring it feels like blasphemy, but I need to bring my Meta to Macstock, or next time we get together so you can try it and so you have a comparison of the experience.
It's only $500.
Yeah, okay. So go buy one.
No. I have enough invested in Vision Pro. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is a really good comparison chart in terms of it, and talking about the difference between Quest 3. There is also a Quest E or a Quest S. I can't remember what it is. I have the 3, and then they have one that's $400 that has a little bit lower resolution, and it is actually pretty good. I mean, you're not going to miss much in the difference between the $500 one and the $400 one, or whatever it is, $399, with this latest SE, or I call it SE, but I think it's E, economy. But it still does the trick. It does all the tricks that the Quest 3 does. It just has a little bit different resolution in terms of it. So this is a good post in terms of making a side-by-side comparison. It has links to information on all of this: Apple Insider, Tom's Guide, some Wikipedia stuff, Apple itself, XR Today. So it's looking at various resources to talk about input methods, pass-through AR, and the comparison between the two. And then they break down different areas like design and comfort between the two, and weight and balance, headset fit and adjustability, quality and aesthetics, and then display and the virtual experience. They talk about the differences between both of these headsets, kind of highlighting this is a place where Apple, I think, really takes the front on this. And they talk about the difference in tech with Meta Quest 3. The field of vision issues that we've heard about, and concerns about field of vision's refresh rate and smoothness. Normally, Vision Pro is 90 hertz with the ability to boost to 96 to 100. Quest 3 similarly runs 90 hertz. Default can go as high as 120 hertz. Optics and sweet spots, eye tracking, and what's available. MetaQuest notably lacks eye tracking. Pass through, color and HDR. This is really extensive in terms of its comparison. So unfortunately, if you showed this to a lot of folks, they would go, yeah, but it's like $500. They wouldn't get as much into the tech, nor would it have meaning like it does to people who are really into tech. I guess and again, the best way to figure out which one you want and what you want to put your investment in it is to try them both. Man, this goes on. Spatial mapping, biometrics, connectivity. All of this is pretty cool. I'm going to throw this into the chat room, which I normally don't do, but instead of listening to it, these guys can also, and gals can also take a look at it if they want to.
It's nice to see that summary all in one place, though. You don't get that very often.
Yeah, it is really heavy duty. So
And
they
I like the breakdown, but productivity and work and gaming and entertainment. It's nice to have the subject breakdowns.
Yeah, this really goes on forever. It's not one of those listicle articles that you get. And then they talk about what each device is best suited for. Apple Vision Pro is best suited for professionals, creatives, and enthusiasts. Meta 3 is best suited for gamers, families, and general consumers. I can't believe I'm still paging through this thing. Battery life and portability. Price and value. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. What you get for the price. The Vision Pro is clearly not a value pick in terms of cost per feature for the average consumer. It's more like a showcase of the best possible experience. And then they have values for different users. I'm sure people are excited to hear me talk about how long this article is. But I had to get to the bottom of it just to find out. To sum up the recommendations, Apple Vision Pro if you need a cutting-edge, high-performance mixed reality headset for productivity or specialized use and have the budget to invest and are comfortable with first-gen limitations. It's the right choice for those seeking a very best visual and AR experience and who can leverage it for work or high-end entertainment. In that way, it justifies the $34.99 price. Choose MetaQuest 3 if you want an affordable, well-rounded VR MR device for games, fitness, and everyday fun. Or if you're a newcomer to XR looking for the best entry point for $500, The Quest 3 offers tremendous value with vast ecosystems and apps and user-friendly wireless design. So again, a good article done by TS2 Tech, and recommend that folks take a look at that. One last, yeah, Eric, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and at the end of the article, there's a video too, so you can watch a video of the detail comparison.
You're
They
right.
really did go all out on that one.
Yeah, and it can be watched on YouTube. And it's all of 55 seconds long. So I'm not sure the video is extensive. They're just talking about pass-through in that. So yeah, you're going to have to spend some time reading it. Did you manage to take a look at this? I tried to put all the pieces together on this. This was shot with a new 3D Blackmagic camera, the Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive, and creating this for the Vision Pro experience. However, you can also watch it on YouTube. So what we will have in the show notes is the link to be able to watch this on YouTube, and it is a tour of the Santa Monica Pier. Have either of you ever been to the Santa Monica Pier?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, you guys gotta get out more. So I will go ahead and, can you hear any of the audio in this?
No,
No,
I'm
okay.
watching
Well,
it. It's a lot of music.
It's probably better without the audio.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
really
it
get a
did a
copyright
nice,
hit.
yeah. Well, they did a nice job with this, and I watched it in the Vision Pro, but
Okay.
those files are significantly bigger, and my network connection was significantly not enough. So I kept getting pauses, and then if you get stopped, then you sometimes have to reset it and rebuffers, and it takes a while. But the look of it was excellent. You could see the ocean, the waves coming in. It was really pretty realistic about where you were. I'm not entirely sure about the person deciding what they were filming, but yeah, you certainly got a sense of what was there. I think the script was behind and above the camera. Not totally sure.
Yeah. There is and Gurn said that they watched it on the Vision Pro through their app.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was a really nice video in terms of Gurn's take on it. Even watching it on the YouTube version, or the link that I'll share, the YouTube version, it's almost like one of those, you remember the magic eyes that if you squint enough, you can start to see some dimensionality of it. You can get a sense from even looking at the flattened out YouTube version of the video how it might be in more of an immersive fee, and how that feels in an immersive field of view.
Yeah, it was definitely worth watching. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's got some great quality. That's for sure.
Yeah. Here's a link in here that's Stream It Now on the Apple Vision Pro. I'll put that link in the show notes too. So if you do like Gurn, if you want to see it, and Eric, you're saying Spatial Film is the app?
Yeah, and if you launch the app, it is one of the first two films listed, as being, free for now. You can just click on it. So you don't have to find any other links or anything else. You just launch the app and it's right there.
All right. I'll put a link into that app along with the other links that I have for this particular video. Okay. I put I put in a almost app because this showed up on Reddit. And I thought, this is kind of interesting. It is Metaball's Spatial. And I guess it's coming out this fall. First look at Metaball's Spatial, my new app coming out on Apple Vision Pro. And let me go ahead and run it again. And it is basically, I don't know, imagine bubbles or balloons in space that you can expand or shrink and then attaching them together. And I saw another video on this that was much more cloud-like. And by cloud-like, I mean it was really quite liquid and all over the place with it. But this is an interesting app. I guess it would be like a painting app or one of those, spatial paintings apps that are available. So, and then the last one is an actual app that I'm trying to close this up. And I don't know if, this I put in late. So I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at this. It's Porta Nubi. It's the best. That's the best pronunciation I can give it. And I don't think this, it's gotten great ratings. I went in and got it, started playing with it, and it starts you off with basically a tutorial of how to manipulate the objects. And in which case, they have kind of different sets. And movement is one, but then there are other sets that you can purchase. And I'm moving kind of down to the in-app purchases. So they take you through a variety of, in the setup, that sets up a series of things. Like you have a bubble, you have something between the two bubbles. And what you can do is you go in and it teaches you the different hand movements that you need to do to like create a hole in the bubble. And what comes out of that is like stars come shooting out of that. And then it goes and it hits the next bubble, but it won't go through it because you haven't put portals or holes through that bubble. And I took the setup and the training as far as I could take it. And the last piece that I was in was, and I had it wasn't as intuitive for me, but what happens is the bubble is sitting there, the stars are coming across in one direction, and you have to create an angle for it to go out the other side of the bubble. So the way you do that is you crawl inside the bubble. And when you're inside the bubble, you can see these kinds of paddles that you have on your hands that redirect the flow of the stars out the angle that you want it to go out to hit the object that is part of the game that you're trying to hit. So I saw kind of the opportunity for this to be immersive puzzles. I like immersive puzzles. It's one of the things I like to do on Vision Pro outside of entertainment. But I saw this and I'm like, okay, I got to try this out, and totally got into the setup and the arrangement. It has that kind of physics puzzle quality to it. Also, besides the immersiveness of the experience. But when I had to step inside a bubble, like it expanded and filled my whole office here so I could be inside it and redirecting stuff, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
That
It was.
sounds like fun.
All right. So we have got to the end of our episode here.
Yeah.
Holy bubbles, Batman. That's what Justin says in the chat room. You can join us in the chat room when we do this on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time, just by going to youtube.com/@vision profiles. That's our channel. And you can find the live feed there on Monday nights. You can always go back to that channel and look at it anytime you want to look at it. Or get the audio feed if you want to and take that down. Or you can find us on any of the podcast services around under Vision Profiles. MacStock, I'm still recovering from MacStock. I'm kind of going through it's like the stages of death. I'm going through the denial phase now that we're not at MacStock anymore. And you can still get and see what happened at MacStock. And if you're interested, there is a virtual or a digital pass that's being sold that you will get all of the access to all of the video of all of the presentations that were done. Just go to macstockconference.com and you can search through the site and see all the wonderful things that were done and presented. David did a great presentation on screen capture and apps that do that. And I did one on Apple Intelligence and then one on Gear with my son. But there's just great presentations through the whole weekend and well worth the money that you would spend for it for a digital pass. So go to macstockconference.com and you can get access to it. I will continue to put out Vision Pro notes. Definitely, if we see a beta that comes out, we'll be tackling that. And I'll be looking at articles as they come out. As David says, you find some doozies. I will find some more doozies and talk about them in 5 to 10 minutes, a couple of times a week under Vision Pro Notes, the same feed that you get Vision Profiles on. So yeah, check those out along the way. Dave, where can we find you?
You can find me on In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. I'm on Mac Voices Live every Tuesday nights with these two gentlemen that join me as well. And we record our show on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as I'm occasionally on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network. And I'm on social media. I'm Dave G65. Let's go Blue Sky and Mastodon. Thanks for having me.
Dave has been doing cool stuff for a long time.
9 years.
Yeah. I'm trying to say that without making you sound like an old man. You've been doing you've been doing some cool stuff. Eric, where can people connect with you?
I'm gonna be out back in the woods here and by the lake. I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to. Mondays, of course, here in virtual land, and Tuesdays on Mac Voices, and Thursdays on In Touch with iOS.
And I've got to admit the persona, which was your goal to come to one of these as a persona, is really remarkably good.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, jump in and look at the video of Eric in a persona. And sometimes you get fuzzy around the mouth. I don't know if you're eating or something gets in the way, or maybe it's
or drinking.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So Eric's persona has a drinking problem.
Yeah.
But you ought to take a look at it. You ought to take a look at it if you haven't seen it. It's really remarkable. in terms of the clarity and how you've done it. So I know that was a goal of yours. You can find me on Gencius at JENCIUS at mastodon.social. Also, you can find me at jncius.bluesky.com. All of the shows, including this one, are part of the Pod Talk network. So if you want to know what shows are out there besides this one, you can go to the website, thepodtalk.net. You can email us at thepodtalknetwork@gmail.com. Our bumper music is Free Jazzy by Steve Combs, courtesy of the Free Music Archive. You can learn more about us by seeing us on the website, thepodtalk.net. Also, checking us out on Mac Voices on Tuesday at 8 p.m. and also on Dave's show on Thursday, In Touch with iOS, also at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And Eric, you're still drinking?
No, coughing and sneezing that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was a request.
What's the request? Oh, a sneeze, just out of curiosity.
Or
Thanks,
a fake
Brian.
cough.
So Brian's enjoying all the joys of Eric's persona. That's all I got. Spread the word to other visionaries. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.